Hello, hello. As you get here, make sure that you say hello. Well, I'll pop into the other places and hit go live. All right, so we're going live there and going live here. Let's just see if we're live in these different places. There we are. Yes, beautiful. So now let me pull this up on my phone and then we'll get started. So, like I said, make sure that you say hello when you get here, and oh, oops, why is it not? There we go. All right, I got that set up. So, good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday. We had storms all day yesterday, and an interesting thing happened was I had, for those that don't know, I'm actually a hairstylist as well. And so yesterday I was working in the salon and I finished a client and then it was storming. So I walked her out to her car with an umbrella and I come back in and I start cleaning up, getting the hair off the floor and everything. And all of a sudden we lost power. And it was like, oh my gosh. So luckily there's a lot of windows in this house so I could still see. And so I vacuumed as best I could and cleaned up as much as I could see to do. And then I had to make sure that any appointments that I had after that, not going to be able to do it. And so I was able to finish work much earlier than anticipated. And so I spent the day getting a lot of task done, especially for my group, Stand Up and Stand Out, because I just changed the name. So you may recognize it was Make Lasting Change. And, I changed it for several reasons. And it was really an important transition to make. The interesting thing was when I went to look at the descriptions that I had for the group Make Lasting Change, with just a little tweak, it was perfect for Stand Up and Stand Out. But one of the things you don't realize how much you have to change when you do something like that. So I had to go in and change it on every platform. And that reminds me, I've missed one. I need to go in and take care of that. But not only that is when you join the group, you get these emails and that are automatically sent out. So I had to go in and redo all those emails and make sure that the names and the information was correct. So I spent a lot of the day on the computer once the power and the internet came back on. So what I did during that time, that I went and sat in the living room where it was nice and bright, and I had a book with me to read. But I went back and watched the replay of the live that I did on, what day was it? It was on Friday. Yeah, on Friday with Laura Westman. And because she and I are doing our master class on the 31st. So I went back and rewatched it and took some notes about some of the things that we talked about and the things that people were asking questions about and everything, so that I would have a better understanding of the things that people are really wanting to learn and to grow within, right? So it was my time was well spent because I just had to turn the internet off my phone, and I just sat and watched that video and read a book. And so I utilized my time that I couldn't get on the computer. And, otherwise I probably would have, just sat and read the whole time, and that would have been fine. And if that's what I needed, but I really wanted to go back and watch, because when you're in the middle of something, like the guests that were there, then if any of them went back and watched the replay, there might be things that they didn't catch either. And it's like reading a book the second time. I always feel like the second time or third time, fourth time, however many times I read a book, that every single time I read it, it feels like somebody came in the night before, threw in some new words and ideas, and then there, voila. And because I'm always reading it from a different perspective, from a different place, like the thing, we grow every day. And so you're a different person every day than you were the day before. And so that's how I feel with books. It's like when I go in, it's like, oh my gosh, was this here before? I don't remember seeing that before, but we know it was. All right, so I am going to go ahead and, oh, I know what I forgot to do. Hold on a second. I forgot to tell everybody that I'm here. All right. So let's just give everybody a couple minutes to get that notification. And I can't see. Oops. Oh, there we go. All right. So as you get here, make sure you say hello. Let me know where you're coming from, and just where are you at? So make sure you say hello when you get here. Let me know where you're signing in from. And it's a beautiful Sunday here. Like I said, we were having storms yesterday, but today's gorgeous. It's going to be nice and warm, but gorgeous nonetheless. I mean, I do live in the South. I'm in Georgia, for those that don't know. And yesterday was so stormy. So today's a little steamy. And it's only 73 degrees, but I bet with the way the humidity is why it feels so warm out there. So the humidity has been cranked up with the storm. So I'm hoping maybe sometime today I might go out and go for a hike or something, but we shall see, because I do have a list of things that I want to take care of today. Good morning, Stacy. I see you're here. Like I said, everybody make sure you say good morning. Thank you, Stacy. Good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in today's affirmation. So hold on a second. And just to, hold on. Just a reminder, I want to let you know that I created the event for our masterclass, and I've sent out an email to everyone with a form that you can fill out to be part of it. It's free. So check your email, because everybody in the group should have received one. And if for some reason you didn't, just reach out, send me a message and let me know, and I'll make sure that maybe something's happened with maybe the way it's on the form, whether it's getting to you or not. We want to make sure that you get all of the notifications that are coming out about anything that's happening, because I'm going to talk. Sorry, my nose is itching. It means I'm going to have some company today. Wendy is going to be doing her Facebook Live on the 28th at 7:30. So that's Tuesday, 7:30, and she is the relationship. She's going to teach you how to communicate in relationships. So it's going to be beautiful. Oh, you got one. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I'm super excited too. I'm telling you. I spent a lot of time yesterday as I was diving in and redoing these emails and sending out a new one and all this stuff, that I just kept getting more excited. And one of the things I shared a moment ago, Stacy, was that when I went back in to tweak all these different places, and I've still got to go onto Instagram and LinkedIn, I think, because I wasn't even thinking about them yesterday. But as I was reading the description that I had, with just a little tweak, and it was perfect. It was like I already had the language for this group, for the other group. So interesting. And then I had someone that said that they joined, and I couldn't find them. And I looked, and they were already in, but they were in even before it was Make Lasting Change. So they'd been here a long time. So I looked back, and I've got videos in here from 2019. So I'm thinking maybe I need to go back and watch some of those videos and see what's different. I know for one thing, my hair is very different. All right. So I'm going to get to the affirmation. And, this morning, this was the affirmation that just came to me while I was getting ready and everything. And it just felt like the perfect one for me for today. So it is, I live in a world filled with possibilities. Oof, doesn't that feel delicious, right? I mean, a lot of the times it is so easy to notice all the things that aren't right in our world. And that may be the world itself, it may be your environment, right? But when you can get into this place where you believe and you trust and you love that you live in a world filled with possibilities, oh my gosh, what else can happen, right? What else is there? And it just gives you this level of excitement to move into life, right? And so I think part of that comes for me this morning as as we're working together, as Laura and I are working together with doing the things for the masterclass and creating things for the program. And it's like, I just keep getting so excited about helping people with getting out of their own way to step into their playful side where they actually can create more and start feeling confident that they're going to be able to know what to say when the moment arises. And if they don't in that instance, I have some tools and tricks to help you to relax into getting that information, right? And so the more I think about all these things, I think, oh, and I get so excited about the possibilities for me and how I can deliver this. And Laura being part of it has just been, it's just elevated it to another level. But it's what the people that show up for the masterclass opening up possibilities for them. I mean, it's intense to think about. I get so excited thinking about it. I really do. So today's affirmation, make sure that you put it on your sticky note, your index card, you put it on your screensaver on your phone. That would be a beautiful one. Maybe I'll even, if I have time today, I'm not promising anything. Maybe I'll go into Canva and create something with that I can share out, and you could put it as a screensaver on your phone. I mean, you could all do that yourself, but I don't know. It just kind of feels fun. And, but like I said, I'm making no promises because I do have a list of things that are paramount, in my opinion, maybe not anybody else's, for me to accomplish today. One of them is going for a hike, doing my workout. So those things are going to come first after I finish with this. Oh, and I haven't had breakfast yet. It's the natural things, right? And then later today, I've got a couple of calls to be on, and I'm going to actually be in Stacy's Do the Things singles group tonight. So if you guys have not checked out that, check out Do the Things singles. You'll be happy you did. All right. So that's the affirmation. I live in a world filled with possibilities. Now, if that doesn't feel true to you, let's get there, okay? Because sometimes it's, like I said, there's a 1% change every day can exponentially change your life. And it starts here. It's some of the simplest things. It starts here, right? Like I've shared with you guys that I've had a little bit of a hip issue recently. Don't even know how I did it. Don't even know, but it doesn't matter. But the thing is, hi Antoinette, good to see you here. But the thing is that with this tweaking of my hip, I've started, looking for answers. What can I do? I need to just stretch. I even bought one of those massage guns. I've done these things where I saw the personal trainer one time and he gave me some ideas, and then I started doing them. And it seemed like it was not a long-term fix. It was like make it better for the day. Right. And then I came across this workshop that I attended. It was a 4-day workshop about your hip health, right? And the thing is that he wasn't starting me off with, let's stretch this hip, let's do this. He started me off with, let's just lay on the floor with our feet over our legs over a chair, almost like you're in a seated position, and you just sit there. Now, did that seem like it would do anything? No, but it did. It did. And then you were actually using your butt muscles, in that position. You were just using your butt muscles, clenching them and unclenching them, not doing anything else. That changed something too. And then he had us doing this, sitting against the wall. That changed things too. And so it was these little tiny things that were changing my body. Now, not to say that it's fixed. No, it's not. And so I'm still doing some of the exercises and working on them every day, to get it better. But how many times, now I'm getting off the subject, maybe, but maybe not. But let me just take you back to a time. I was dating a guy, a nice guy, right? But he had wonked up his hip somehow. And he, instead of, now I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means, right? Okay. So don't even think I'm saying that. But instead of doing like I did, which is, let me see how I can fix this. How can I do something to take care of it? So I started, I went to the personal trainer. I started looking for information. I started, if somebody, he advised these different things, and I started doing all those things to try to get it better. Right. And then that still wasn't doing enough. And then I saw this workshop and I thought, okay, I'm going to dive into this workshop. And so I did that. And so all of these things I'm doing because I want to have hip health. I don't want surgery. I don't want surgery at all. But this guy that I was dating, and it was because we'd been friends for a long time. Not a good idea. I'll just go there. But anyway, he had this hip thing, but instead of trying to find a way to take care of it, he just immediately went to a total sedentary lifestyle. He didn't want to go walking. He didn't want to do anything but just sit and plan on surgery. And the doctor even said he needed to take off a few pounds to have a more effective surgery. Was he doing anything to do that? No. It was like, it was just mind boggling. But I think a lot of times that's what happens. There's possibilities everywhere for anything, right? For your life. But sometimes it's easier to just sit back, do nothing, and let the tide take us, right? And that's easier in the moment, right? Easier in the moment. Because I'm telling you, these exercises that I'm doing are the simplest shit, simplest things, but damn, they hurt. And I can feel it later. I sweat doing these little simple micro movements, and it's intense. And I could choose to just sit down and let it be. But that's not me. And so reason I'm saying that is because sometimes movement forward hurts. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. Getting out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. And so if you look at life filled with possibilities, a world filled with possibilities, it feels like the next step is to branch out, to broaden out and learn and grow, right? And so it's getting to this place in your life where, you kind of embrace a little bit of the discomfort, because on the other side is some magic, right? I mean, just think about it. The first time, if you're a person that speaks in front of people, like even just doing this, on a Zoom, right? The very first time you do it, you got butterflies, you're afraid of what you look like, what you sound like. You got all these things going on in your mind, that can kind of derail you, right? Maybe you're afraid of somebody's going to make a comment that's not good. And that's the same whether you're here in front of this computer or you're standing on a stage, or you're meeting with your children's teacher for the first time. Maybe you're meeting a romantic partner for the first time, right? All of those things can give you such anxiety if you let them. And then sometimes those can stop you in your tracks. However, if you start looking at, you have a world filled with possibilities, and that through that immediate discomfort that you feel, it's a glorious life. Because if you can get to the place where it feels more exciting to get out of your comfort zone than scary and painful, then life is so delicious. And like I said, not to say I'm perfect by any means, because I still have anxiety about certain things and I'm perfectly honest about them. And that's one of the beautiful things about this masterclass that we've got coming up. Because one of the things is I can do this, right? And I can be this way with you guys. But do I just break out and dance and jump around and act silly, even if I want to? No, not always. As a matter of fact, most of the time I go and I hold it back. Thank you for drop StreamYard link to join the live stream. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're not having anybody join in on the live stream. You can ask anything, make comments right there where you're at, because that's what everybody else is doing. They're just hanging out in the comment section. So thank you for being here, and just make comments or ask questions, and you're right where you need to be. So the thing is that you're opening yourself up to possibilities and enjoying the journey of stepping outside of your comfort zone, right? All right, so now I'm going to grab the journal prompt for you. All right, so here is the journal prompt. All right, so think of a time when a surprising opportunity popped up, like a fun twist in a story, right? And how did it make you feel? And how can you invite more exciting twist into your life? Because we want to find a place where we actually enjoy that stepping out of our comfort zone. We get excited about it. Like one of the things that that Laura was talking about was, she said in the beginning, when she was learning some of this stuff, she felt like she was on a roller coaster where sometimes it was like, and then as the roller coaster went, she was feeling that stuff in her stomach, right? And that made her hold back until she got to a place where it was exciting. And so then when you think about the thrill of the ride, when you get on the roller coaster and when you start going down that hill and you're blasting out and you're putting your arms up and you're just exhilarated, right? And the first time you do it, you're scared because it's a different kind of feeling, right? So drop into the place where it can feel good to be outside that comfort zone. So this is my lesson, my story for today, right? I have been making so many changes in my life recently that this is something that I'm reminding myself of, is how beautiful it is to live in a world filled with possibilities, and being open and trusting that those possibilities are there. You've just got to be aware of them. You've just got to see them. And it's like the thing that I talk about all the time is, what you focus on is what you create, right? So if you're focused on the possibilities in life, you're going to see them. Just like I share the story about my car. I drive a silver Prius. And when I first bought that car, I had never seen any out on the road. Never. But when I saw this ad for it, it was like, that's interesting. Let me check it out. So I went and looked at it and test drove it. And I thought, this is cool. And I bought it. And what I had before was a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a Hemi. So I went from the major gas guzzler to this amazing gas saver. And it was like, oh, I like this. And I didn't have the power, but it was fun to drive, right? And especially in stealth mode. I liked it. But the thing is that after I got that car, like I said, I'd never seen them on the road. And then all of a sudden I seen them everywhere. And it almost seemed like they were all silver. It was like, how did they just mass manufacture all these silver Priuses? And I'm seeing them everywhere. And Then I went to the grocery store. And when I came out of the grocery store, my car, where it was parked, it looked like almost the whole row was Priuses. Now, that's not true because there were other cars intermixed, but there were a lot of them. And the thing is that before I got that Prius, when I walked out that door, I would have seen all the Jeeps because that's what I had. That's what my focus was. So those Priuses were there before. I just didn't have them in my level of awareness. So what I'm saying to you is if you're getting into this affirmation, right? This affirmation, I live in a world filled with possibilities, and you say it to yourself. You say it with meaning and you internalize it. I live in a world filled with possibilities. Even if that doesn't feel like that's truth for you right now, by saying it and feeling it and everything, you're going to start seeing possibilities popping up everywhere. So then once they pop up, what do? That's when you feel into it and invite it in, right? So this journal prompt is great because there's probably been possibilities that you saw and maybe you didn't see them as possibilities. So maybe it was a surprising opportunity, right? That ended up being a little bit different than what you thought it was going to be. And how did that change the story that you tell, the story of your life, right? And how did it make you feel? Because feeling into this stuff is so ultra important. And then how can you invite more exciting twist into your life? And part of the way is by using this journal and the affirmations and actually writing it out. The thing I like to say is you put it in your journal and your notebook, you put a date on there, and you put the journal and the affirmation there together because they belong together. And then you take some time to sit in silence. So sometime today, I don't care where you're at, what time of day it is, but sometime today, take 5 minutes, set a timer for 5 minutes and just sit in silence with this journal prompt right in front of you, right? And then breathe into that, just calm down, listen to the sounds around you. And then when that timer goes off, you're going to be in a better place to actually have all of this information pulled into you. And then you can just brain dump everything that comes up. Just write down anything. I mean, all kinds of things will come up, and sometimes they're silly things. Sometimes they're things that you think, well, that's, is that true? I don't remember that, but it came up. Write out as much as you can. And then just kind of look at it and see what's there. And the beauty of doing this and keeping a journal where you have all this information down on paper, right? Or if you're a computer journal or whatever, as long as it's the written word. But I will say that writing things down with your hand actually gets more information out because it's a different kind of connection from typing on the computer. Writing taps into this different place in your mind. Good morning, Wendy. Great to have you here. But it taps into a different place in your mind that actually will have you bringing more information out. It's almost like it opens up this funnel where God, the universe, is pouring into you, and you can actually write out more. And then once you've done that, once you finish, set it aside, come back and look at it again and again and again, because I promise you, if you will do this every single day, we get on here with an affirmation and a journal prompt. And I know not everybody can get on here live, and that's okay. If you are here for the replay, put #replay. I forgot that part. And so then that just lets me know that you were here too. And, if you have questions, ask me questions. That's okay. I may be able to answer them in the moment, but I may have to think about it. I don't know, because this is all online. I was at church online. Oh, okay. Beautiful. So thank you for coming here after you finished with church. Just think about how you can look back on, let's say if you've been doing this for 6 months, which, you haven't. Maybe you have, but for 6 months, you've gone in and you've written on your journal and you've written down your affirmation and your journal prompt for the day, and you've brain dumped and you've just poured, right? You've poured into it. And then you come to today and you look at the one that you did 6 months ago, and you're going to be amazed at how much difference you've grown, how much you've grown. And it's like I was sharing earlier that when I went back and looked, I have some videos in this group. Of course, it was named a couple of different things, but that were from 2019, I think it was said. And so I'm going to go, part of my thing I'm going to do today is go back and look at some of those, because I want to see how much I've grown, what my thoughts were then. And, and then I have a journal, I have notebooks, and it's a really good thing to go back and look at, because like I've explained so many times, when you're making these 1% changes every day, that creates exponential growth, right? But it's like those micro movements that trainer, that workshop that he was having me do, it's like they were small in the process, but if I continue to do them every single day for 6 months, oh, what's the difference going to be, right? And it's the same with our mind, with our hearts. When we're doing this and we can look back and see what were the thoughts that we were thinking 6 months ago. And it probably, you're going to notice that some of the things that you worried about never even came to pass. Maybe the things that bothered you or you felt like was out of your comfort zone in the moment, what if now that's your normal, right? Because every single day, if we're making the 1% change, well, we do make a 1% change every day, regardless of whether you do it on purpose or you don't. And so we're working on doing it on purpose. So we know we not only have a sailboat on the water, but we've got a motorboat on the back of it, so that we can direct our boat wherever the hell we want to go. We're not worried about the tide. We're not worried about how hard it is to do the oars. We're not worried about whether the wind's actually blowing where we want it to go. No, we're putting a motorboat on the back of this and we're moving forward. But every day you change, and that becomes your new normal. Tomorrow, same thing, your new normal. Same thing next day. You change your normal of who you are, changes every day. And as you make this change, it becomes like it's just part of you. It's who you are. And you don't even recognize sometimes how amazing you are. And by taking the time to sit with these affirmations and journal prompts and writing them out, you have a written document that shows how much you grow and how much you expand your life and your opportunities, right? And so I invite you to take the time to create these notebooks, the journals, to take care of this, to be mindful of your journey. Because who knows, as you're making this journey, somebody might say to you one day, oh my gosh, I'm dealing with this thing right now and I don't know what to do. You say, wait a minute, I remember that I had a time that was bothering me too. Let me go back and look and see, what did I do? And then you can share it with them and you can make a difference in their life. What if that was part of your opportunity, right? Who knows? All right, so I have shared the affirmation, I have shared the journal prompt, and I've shared so many silly stories that maybe to you don't feel like they fit in, but to me they do, and that's where I'm at. So just as a reminder, I will be here tomorrow is our community celebration. And I know we've got some new people in the community, and so I want to ask you to, if you can possibly be there. It's 2 p.m. Eastern, and our founding members, I would love to have as many people there as possible to join in the celebration. We've got so many things to celebrate with the founding members and the new members. And, who knows what will come up, because we just let intuition guide us. And I have like a little paper that I have some little bullet points that I put out, but then sometimes I don't even touch on them. But we always celebrate each and every one of you. And so be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to have such a good time. And I can't wait to see you there. Have a blessed, amazing, opportunity-filled day. Mwah.